Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome 91X session. I'm Hilary. Thank you for being here and joining us. And thank you, the 1975, for
Thank
doing
you.
this for us.
Thanks.
This
Cheers.
is actually your second X session, right? You did
I think so, yeah.
one
I think it's the
a few
second
years
one.
ago.
Yeah. Was it,
awesome.
how long ago?
Yeah, like 3 or 4.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a while.
I think.
Yeah, I think
it
so.
was
Yeah,
a
you're
while
probably
ago.
right.
Well, welcome, you guys. You had a day off yesterday. Are you feeling rested, or did you go out?
Oh, no, we didn't go. I think a few of us did. We, in particular, didn't. So
Okay.
we're all right. We were very aware of our responsibilities today.
Thank you for taking it seriously. Is that something you guys have kind of figured out how to do when you're on the road now? Is like, were you every night raging at first, or and now you've kind of figured it out?
At very first, I think we were. I mean, you don't have to learn. It doesn't take you long to realize that you just can't do that. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
You can try. There's like one person that I know in the whole of, I don't know, the arena of rock and roll who actually does go in every single night and manages to live to tell the tale. He's just a guitar tech that he's kind of like a mythological creature in
Yeah,
in
really.
the world of bands. But you can't. He's in LA, I think.
Whose guitar tech is he?
He
Can
was
you
our
name
old
names?
guitar tech.
Oh, really?
And we didn't so much fire him as we had to be like, dude, we can't. We just can't. It's like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to tune a guitar when you're hungover.
Exactly, but he never experienced a hangover. He just kept going. But we didn't have to learn about that. We've just we learned the hard way, I suppose, just by doing stuff like this with a raging hangover, and it kind of devalues it as much as it kind of makes it shit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think your fans appreciate it when you take it seriously, and can bring your A game
Yeah, for sure.
to everything.
Yeah, for sure.
When you got, you've been, I mean, the album has been out over a year now, right? Have you just been touring the whole time, or what does it feel like?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Since kind of when we finished it, we went out on the road, and I think that the live element has kind of come to kind of define the whole campaign. Really, I think that we've managed to take that show like everywhere, and it's really kind of expanded. Just the amount of people that we've been able to play to, and the kind of, I wouldn't say a demographic, but stuff like, Somebody Else, songs like that have kind of taken on a life of their own, and in America, and it's been an amazing time for us. So we've just been trying to not capitalize on it, but kind of like, pay homage to all of our fans who seem to be everywhere. It's impossible to go everywhere. So
Yeah, I think that makes sense, though, because even for like 91X, Somebody Else was kind of like a slow burner, and now it's one of our most played songs. Like right now, it's like reaching peak
it's weird,
love
right? Yeah.
from our listeners, and it's so, yeah, for you guys. And you still have a lot of tour dates to go, too.
Yeah,
though.
we're kind of I'd say like kind of at the front end of this American tour, and then we go back to do some stuff in Europe and like headline some festivals, which is crazy. We've never done that before.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be amazing. But I suppose we're kind of coming into the third era now. So the third album and what is to be. So we're just kind of trying to get focused on that.
Yeah, okay, so I wanted to ask about that. Since it has been a little while, but you have been on the road this whole time, are you writing new music while you're, touring? Or,
Yeah.
Or,
We
okay.
we always have been. I think we kind of set the precedent with the last album. The way that we wrote it was on the road. We never really related to people who are like go somewhere to write something, or like they're like, oh, we're going to write the album. It's like, how are you not writing an album? How are you being in a band and not writing? And but I think it's partially because we come from like we literally made records in my bedroom until we were like 24. So we kind of set that. That's kind of how we do things. So that bedroom's now either like a tour bus and I think that we don't take, not a success, but we don't take the kind of the amount that people invest in it like for granted at all. And I think that that's a genuine thing, and I think that's quite subconscious. So I think that we're scared of being lazy or scared of resting on our laurels, I suppose. We always want to be prided on the last thing that we just did. So yeah. And I think that partially that mentality bleeds into why we tour so much as well, because we want to go out and give the show to all those people that have made it possible.
I think you know, it shows in your fan base, because the 1975 are one of those bands that have, you're smiling, like you know, like your fans are passionate. What's the right word? Like crazy passionate,
Yeah.
like, you know, intense.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. I mean, I think that's what you want. And I feel
Yeah.
like you guys do a good job of
Oh,
nurturing
totally.
that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to provoke ambivalence in people. That's,
Right.
that's the
You're
main
right.
the main thing you don't want to do. But I think that, yeah, it's amazing watching it now, because at the beginning, you know, everything's kind of in the heady up. But when you're all coming up, you don't really get to see anything objectively. And now, because I feel like, you know, this is what we do, and we're good at this now, and you know, we can kind of we think about stuff like our relationship with our fans, like in regards to like we have to think about things like security now, for example. It's not the way that we view our fans, but like, you know, there's a genuine, we have to actually physically look after the amount of people that want to come into the room, because a lot of these people are like crazy.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I
they've been there for
mean.
like 3 days with like no
Yeah.
water in a tent
Yeah.
in like Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh.
And then they let them inside, and they're kind of your responsibility. So being honest, being a band that has that kind of scale now and that reach, it morphs the way that you kind of, like you say, you know, like the nurturing of your fans. Like sometimes we actually have to physically pick them up off the floor and then ask them if they're all right. So yeah, it's but yeah, we're kind of like, I don't know, we're kind of becoming like the cure for a more confused generation.
Not a bad
That's kind
thing
of
to
the brief
be.
at the moment.
I think that's pretty great.
But yeah, it's good. It's just it's an interesting person to be an ambassador for this weird millennial generation.
Yeah, I bet. And maybe you guys are still
Figuring it out.
Yeah.
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 I think we always will be,
yeah.
like the rest of us.
Right. Well, I look forward to hearing what is to come on the next record. Thank you guys so much for being here and doing this X session
you're
for us
welcome.
today.
Thanks.
91X loves us some 1975. So we appreciate it a lot. And have fun at the show tonight.
Oh, thank you.
All right, the 1975.